having all this stuff set up. It's a system. Like, people be underestimating being an artist. This shit is 80% business, 20% art.
Preach.
For real.
I go based on tunes. Letting on me come call. I can never make that choice. Want it, tell them I want it, 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 I want it.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the How to Sell Dope podcast. This is the second episode. Today I have a very special guest in the building, well, virtually in the building, Belle Dee. Now, Belle Dee, we were just having an in-depth conversation about your name and what it means and who you are as a person. I'm going to take the microphone away from myself and present it to you.
Hey, it's your girl, Belle Dee. Y'all probably heard me from the podcast that we do at BBE. Shout out to BBE. Shout out to Ron. Hey, Ron. Mr. Ignit. So Belle Dee is short for Belle Dee, which is French for beautiful goddess. I came up with this name many moons ago when I was just trying to embrace my inner beauty, because I know I look different, and I'm just like, okay, I was doing audio engineering at the time, and I was also modeling, and I wanted to separate my identity from being an engineer and being a model. So when I came up with beautiful goddess, I was like, let me find something fancy. Let me find something that's gonna have that little roll to your tongue. And I was like, okay, let me see what it means in different languages. So I came across Belle Dee. And I think it's very form-fitting because it's not just about me. It could be beautiful goddess, beautiful God, and it's not limited because, you know, we now in the era of the non-binary. So that's what Belle Dee means. And then because I will go out and meet different people, they can never get the say part right. So I just shortened it for Belle Dee. Shout out to Lamari, my co-host, because he was one of those people. How do you say this? It's like, you know what? We're just gonna do Belle Dee and we're gonna leave it right there. But it's really Belle Dee for short. I just go with the Belle Dee because people don't mind the accent over the E ever. So yeah, that's how I got my name. And then a little bit about me. I went to school for audio engineering and also music management, music business. So while I was in school, I got hired straight into my dream job of being an audio engineer. So I was doing school full time and an audio engineer at the former, the Carter that used to be in Bridgeport. I don't think they're there anymore. I transitioned out once I found out I was expecting, but that's another tale for another day. But I did the engineering while I was in college. So I was learning how to master while I was mixing and mastering in the studio, which was crazy because I was young and I was just excited, and I enjoyed being in that studio environment. I truly do. And I kind of wish I could go back to it. I haven't gotten fully back to that place because of COVID. That kind of like helped me not want to go to the studio. But
definitely understand that.
Yeah, so it's like, I could just stay home. Send me the track. No. But I also was working on artist development because I was doing a double major at the time. So I was doing audio engineering and music business because I wanted to be a total package when it comes to recording somebody and then creating a star at the same time. I used to call myself Lady Diddy. That was before Diddy came out here and started looking crazy throughout the years, with the exception of making a band, of course. But yeah, so I used to have all of these it's crazy because I used to always say I wanted to be like this person, that person, this person. I want to be the female Kanye, and look at this motherfucker now, I'm good. Then we got Diddy. Diddy's still doing his thing, but I think he might be taking Adderall, and I ain't got to the Adderall level in my life yet because, you know, health insurance be costing a lot of money. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. So I've worked with artists throughout the city. I remember firing my first group because I was broke, they were broke, and I was just like, I'm management, I ain't got no money. Like, I'm trying to put y'all on the path and get y'all straight, but y'all go to work. I'm still in school. And it was right before I got my studio job. And I'm just like, y'all gotta pay for y'all videos and this and that. And they were just like, you supposed to do this and this. I was like, okay, I could do the work, but you gotta give me the bread.
Let me
on a tangent.
No, you're fine. But that's a really good point that you just got to right there. There's a few good points. I've been taking some notes. So
okay.
I think
I'll be jumping right into it.
That's fine. That's totally fine. Do not feel like you're rambling. spill it out, and I'll stop you when I feel like I want to interject about something. But
okay, cool.
I think one of the reasons that brought you to this podcast is because our goals kind of align. Like that's like the role that I'm in. I want to engineer, but I also want to uplift the artists because I feel like a lot of artists are lost in a way. You know, I've as an artist myself all my life, I've done it the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? And now that I have a business, I'm like, oh shit, I could have been doing that way differently. And I just did not.
But you don't know. You learn. That's the benefit of it. You just learn, and you learn when you're supposed to learn. So you apply it when you learn it. Don't even hold yourself back about that. Like, I could have did. Don't even say that. Just be like, I'm finna do that. That's the best way. Like, that's how I had to teach myself that, because the business that I'm in now versus me being an engineer full time for a few years at that time, I didn't know how to run a business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought if I just made statuses and added all these people on Facebook and posted it on my Twitter, and then eventually to my IG showing me in a studio, that I would start to grow the clientele that I wanted, when I really didn't. So now that I know how to run a business, how to market your business, how to brand your business, and do all of that type of stuff, I'm in a better mind space. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm coming out with a project because I got all the sauce. I just dropped that bomb right quick. I'm coming out with a project. I'm definitely coming out with a project.
Do you rap? You rap, you sing?
No, I do both.
Okay.
I be spitting that hot shit. No, I'm just playing. No, but I prefer to sing. But you know how like they blend it now, where it's sing rap. So it could be a little bit of that. I don't know what genre that's gonna be, but it's probably gonna be closer to like alternative R&B.
Okay.
If anything, that's kind of like my lane. But anyway, I said all of that to say it's like, I've been around artists and been through the industry and working with different people, that I'm at a space now where, like what you just said, I've evolved in my business sense, in my business mind, in my marketing mind, and my branding mind. I want to create this package so people can have a template, essentially. But yeah, let's go back. So back to the management part. So I was managing, and then I started artist development while I was recording young guys. Like, and it was crazy because the most bizarre things would happen as I'm getting them together on how to structure songs and how to do layers and how to record and things like that. I could literally see the potential of these artists, and then they asked, "Well, go to jail," and I just be like, "Fuck!" Not only is my check gone, but the person that I could get a check with is gone. Like, damn! And these were like my consistent clientele, so it was hard for me to maintain like people that had that quality sound, had those bars, could spit, had the flow, but they just needed like a little bit of help. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's work on your image. Let's do this and that, you know, your aesthetic, so that we could roll out and make sure that you have a very efficient rollout, you know, that makes sense, and, you know, get that buzz rolling. Like, I have worked with artists, RIP Duck. I've worked with Duck. It was like one session. It was a filler session, but I really enjoyed that session, and I'll tell you why. As a Black woman who's white passing, you know, because of albinism, I was always seen as an assistant or like a host of the studio instead of an actual engineer. And when I worked with Duck, he was like the one person who was like, you know, growing momentum at the time. This was like, I want to say maybe 2012 when I worked with him, growing that momentum at the time. And he respected me as an engineer. The rest of his team, it was just like who the fuck is that? Or like one guy was grinding on my chair while I was recording him. And I'm just like, bro, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's a lot of sexism that go on that I don't speak about. And this kind of like why I don't really be wanting to go back to the studio, because you don't know who the hell you working with. And the guy, he grinded on my chair, and Doug came out, was like, bro, why the fuck is y'all playing so much? Like, let her do her job. He came in, he recorded his couple of verses, and he was done. And I valued his professionalism, because somebody that young coming in straight on business, want to hit a track, okay, woo, you gonna mix it, how you gonna do this, boom, bam, all right, cool, thank you, and was done, you know. So it's like the things that people see on the internet about artists it's like, okay, that's how they being portrayed, that's how they being received. But when you actually around certain people, you be like, okay, you actually not a bad person. It's just you be on some crazy shit.
Right. Yeah, you have your moments.
Yeah. And I would say I worked with some decent acts. It was just more of like they probably didn't take themselves serious. And I know we might dabble on a lot of that, but that's a little bit about me.
Yes. Yes. Because you said a few things that I wanted to dive back into. So you said
okay, yeah, that's fine.
You were managing artists and they expected you to pay for their studio time and their videos and stuff.
So, okay. Because I was in school, I didn't have the financial backing, to be able to support it. But I guess like when some artists are out here and they have management, the management may front the cost and then take it on the back end as they grow, that is a thing. Or you taking out loans somewhere, business loans, maybe whatever, to start off this. But I let it be known out the door, like, bro, I know what to do and how to do it. And I have these connections to do these videos or go over here and go to this event and stuff like this, because I was in that realm of people at the time from transitioning colleges that I had connections to do everything that was at arm's length, And I think that one of the guys, because I think he kind of liked me, he was trying to take advantage of the situation as far as like making me his assistant and doing everything versus me being a manager and handling things professionally. Like when we had video shoots and we working on a treatment, he wasn't there to be there for the treatment. Like we had one conversation with the videographer. He thought that was it. And I'm like, no, you have to be present. You have to show the locations that you have in mind, that you already confirmed with your people. The videographer got to get there. You got to work on this treatment and develop it, because I'll bring it all the way together. So they had a project. I was like, okay, the project is good, but y'all need to work on these vocals and, do these layers and that type of stuff. So for me, for management, it was, making sure that they were sonically pleasing. What was the hit? What was the miss? What is just a filler track for the project? How many tracks you doing? Okay, let's get this process rolling. Like, how do you want to do the marketing? How you want to roll out? Okay, let's do this. This song is a hit. I know this is going to be a bop. This is going to be like a college party song, because my jaw's in college. This is a college party song. Do a college party themed video. Ooh, bam. We had got the frat house reserved. We was going to be lit because, frat house, they going to party regardless. So we was going to be all right. The song was very fitted for frat life. So I was like, okay, let's do the concept. Let's get this video rolled out. Let's start working on all that stuff. And then we can start pushing momentum for the project and lead into the video, then drop the project. So I gave them a full process. So when it came time to do the deposit for the video, that's when the guy was like, well, I'm going out of town. And I said, can you really? Yeah. As soon as I said deposit, the video probably was like only $150 at the time. And he needs to just give him like $50. It was like, times was cheap when we was coming up. Boy, listen. So maybe it was $300 and he had to do like half the deposit at $150. And he went out of town. He did something crazy, like went on a weekend trip or something. I'm like, bro, like, I know we all entitled to our freedom and stuff like that, but you got to pay this man. And he wasn't there for treatment. And he was like, you supposed to be handling it. I said, how the fuck I'm going to handle this if you ain't even give me the money? Where I'm going to get it from? I ain't got no job. Like, dude, like, I'm barely getting by. Like, do you want to do this or not? And he was like trying to go in. I mean, I'm like, bro, fuck all this. I'm out. And that's when I knew, like, I had to knew early to take a step back and figure out who's serious, and started to learn about contractual agreements and stuff like that, because it was like, I'm dealing with this group or whatever. And they had the potential, but they didn't really take themselves seriously. They had some pops and stuff like that. And that's half the problem, is that people be having the material, but then they don't take themselves seriously. And then when they finally take themselves seriously, they miss they beat, because with this industry, it's a sonic window that you have to make. And if I can hear your sound and I know you got like a 2-week window to do whatever you need to do. Like, okay, drop that, do a snippet, whatever. Like, I could call that shit out. And if you don't drop around that time, like, it's either you got sonic time or you got timeless music. You feel me? So that's with management. That's where I was with the artist development and management, because at the time of engineering on top of management, when I was doing the artist development in the studio, these guys coming in with these beats, and I'm like, well, did you pay for this beat? Oh, you got it off YouTube? That was right when YouTube started popping off. Because SoundClick still was a thing, and people don't even be acknowledging SoundClick like that no more.
True.
And I'm like, okay, how did you get this? Like, okay, you need to get the rights to this song, or we're gonna have some problems if this shit pop. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't have the rights to the song nowadays and you put it on TikTok and what's that? Apple Music and Spotify. What you think the producer finna do? And you done pulled this shit off YouTube. They want their whole bag, bro. Like,
there's a way from listening to a different podcast that producers can find your song, and because and a lot of artists don't go through the right process when they upload it, like they don't register their music or whatever. So there are producers now that will find your song and take full credit for it on ASCAP and through their song trust, and just collect royalties off of your stuff.
Why?
Like which I thought was a very interesting way to go about it. But you mentioned a lot there. So let's go back. No. You're good.
No, that's not okay.
You're good. Now I guess so. You were managing artists. Let's go back to management, right? And artist management relationship. How did you get into the position where you were managing artists? Was it, okay, I know these people, I believe in their talent, or did they approach you and was like, can you manage us?
It was like, what you go to school for? I go to school for audio engineering and music management. Oh yeah, we need a manager. That's literally how it happened. I would just be meeting people, and then they was like,
had you heard their music? Had you heard their music first, at least?
Yeah, it might be like a mutual that I already knew or something like that. And like if I'm posting about engineering or something like that, and then they'll say, okay, so you just go to school for that? I'm like, well, I go to school for music business and audio engineering, and I'm looking to potentially become an artist manager. Oh, okay. And then it'll just develop from there. Like, if I like the song, I'm gonna give you feedback. Like, it was a point in time where while I was in college, I used to blog on Tumblr, and I used to just review projects. My Tumblr has been taken by some other person, so you can't even go and look up my blog anymore. But it's crazy how Tumblr just let your shit go. But I used to blog like projects from people all over, like Carolinas, Pittsburgh, Chicago, LA, Virginia. Like, I used to just write like music blog reviews. And
how would you get, like, people would submit these to you, or you would just?
I would find it. Like, I used to call myself the underground queen of just finding shit that sonically was pleasing to me. And I had that leverage through Twitter when Twitter was like a newer platform, and it's crazy how it is now. But in 2009 to like 2012, I used to just find shit between that and if random people, because I used to be in forums too on different websites. So if the people that I was cool with through the forums would drop that music, I'm listening to that. Like, I'm not gonna say discover, but I heard of Drake through a forum platform prior to actually utilizing spaces like Facebook and Twitter. And then when I went off to school, I would listen to I Mean. A lot of people don't know what I Mean is. And that's when I heard Wiz Khalifa before he blew up. And I was already listening to Nicki Minaj, but that was the first time I heard French Montana. This was like 2008 though. This was way before the super mega stars we know now. So I already heard all of these people because I literally set out my intentions of just, let me study these people. Let me study the new sound, what's coming up. Like, I prefer to be ahead of the masses when it comes to sonic sound. That's why I said my dream job will be it's post-production and an A&R, because I'm always ahead of and trying to find the next sound. I don't know how the baby got through that loophole, but that's here nor there.
We can switch gears then, because the baby got some stuff going on right now. Yeah, and I know So I definitely believe that I definitely believe that as an artist, one of the things that can help connect the people to you is being authentic to your true self on social media. How far is too far with that? And we can use this most recent example. I'm pretty sure we all agree that
I'm gonna use all his examples, honestly. I'm gonna use all his examples. Depending on the genre, granted, to me, some people move in facades, if that makes sense, where when I say moving facades, is that they want to appear a way and they might not be that way. Even if they are that way, when it comes to growth, the baby started off as this very attractive little man with this deep voice that all the women equally said was an attractive man, right? So you start off right there. Okay, you look good. Okay, cool. He can't really dress, but he was wearing the turtleneck thing and the chain, so it worked out for him with the grill. Cool, boom. All right, you kept it simple. Then let's roll out to the next one. You start talking about you shot somebody at a Walmart. Okay, so you're trying to lean more towards the gangster side, the thug side. Then you fight somebody in a luxury designer store, and you knock them out. Granted, we got that. Okay, so you the tough little dude. You got the Napoleon syndrome. So like, as this stuff is expelling now, it's like, okay, you was real handsome. Now you just cute. So I'm giving you the starter examples right now. When we see everything, the social media platform is that busy. We had Vine. Vine kicked this shit off with the 6-second mind state, right? Our attention span is at 6 seconds now. Thank you, Vine. Shout out to Vine, RIP. But you got platforms like that where everything is so quick. So now we got all of these things rolling out. We went from him being attractive to him being thugnificent. Wow, that's a bad comparison. But we got him being him to being a thug, to beating on people with, or the beating up guys or whatever. I was like, okay, you the tough guy, we got that. But is this the image that you want to carry you forever, right? Then you got a motherfucking mega concert in the middle of a pandemic at that. And you talking about you don't want to see nobody sucking dick in the parking lot. Why do you even know about that? You're supposed to be focused on your show. All he had to do was, how y'all doing tonight? That's all he had to do. That's all he had to say. How y'all doing tonight? Y'all having a good time? All of that HIV and all that type of stuff, like, that's ignorant. Do you want to be seen as somebody that's like insensitive, ignorant? Do you want to be portrayed as, okay, the only way I could put it for him is that he don't really care. And it's like, he's one of those people that is so proud to be in his position that he just forgot his position, like, let me blow up tomorrow. You think I'm gonna be talking about HIV, AIDS, and somebody getting their dicks up? No, because that does not concern me. That's not my business. So I'm just saying, like, I don't care about what that's your business. If that's what you do, if that's what you get, that's your business. And him with the girl, with the baby, the most recent stint, it's like, okay, you have no regard for yourself or anybody that you have children with, because you go as far as going live. To me, home business stays in the home and not for the internet, regardless of y'all beefing or not. Like, that's not my business. That's not my problem. Like, you look worse now. It's like he go from talking all with a deep voice. Boom, 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 boom. Bitch, get out of my house. Do you want the bitches or not? Like, I'm confused. Like, Why did you get her pregnant? So all of that, bringing it all full force, is when you are an artist, and he ain't even been out longer than 2 years, because I think him and Meg came out right when the pandemic started, right? So you got them two, and then when the situation happened with Meg and he bring Tory Lanez out, like, I almost forgot about that, but still, that type of stuff happening, like, okay, there's a time and a place for everything. And if you want to address something or check something, address it or check it, but don't go out your way and just expel toxicity to the universe. Like, we are trying to evolve as a people. We already going through a really rough time in our life. We do not need to be seeing all this. Everything is crazy. Everything around us is crazy. Do you want to Do you want to have people that you want to listen to you for the long term, or do you know that you're a short-term artist and you want to minimize your term and have no exit strategy? That's the only way that I can equate that. Because in my mind, from the first couple of events, I was like, I hope this nigga, the baby, is taking his money and creating an investment portfolio, because he will not make it past 10 years. Hell, he probably won't make it past 5. Because sonically, that's why I said earlier, I don't even know how he even got to where he is, because he used to literally be under posts dropping his song on Twitter like 2-3 years ago, consistently, like every day dropping these songs that you could find on YouTube. Let's say if you go find like one of his videos was like 3 or 4 years old right now. He used to take the link and drop it like on viral posts on Twitter. He used to take it and drop it underneath it so people could go check it out. He don't do it now because he a star now.
Right.
And he like one of the top stars where he's on the billboards and he's on almost everybody's feature right now. So it's like you've plateaued so quickly, especially during a place like a pandemic, because a lot of people not going outside. A lot of people don't get that chance to be open and ask right now where they could grow the same way you did. You having this moment during this pandemic and you keep jagging it every step of the way. Like, bro, we locked in on you because you was the last big star before a pandemic happened.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? So
let me ask you this though, because who was it that said it? That all publicity is good publicity.
You're gonna hear it in business class. You're gonna hear that in all publicity, regardless of what it is gonna be good publicity, and that's unfortunate because I don't know, it ain't working for R. Kelly. That shit ain't that's the one time that shit ain't work in somebody's favor, because that man, he in a red now. That's so crazy. But anyways, we gotta start calling that nigga Voldemort, because his name can't even get spoken around a lot of people no more. Like, that nigga up there. But
the one I guess big accolade I got on production tip. I told the story already on this podcast, but I saw R. Kelly a beat at a fucking IHOP randomly. And I thought he was a good dude for that, but you know, he's done a lot of bad, I guess, in this life. He's gone down the wrong path. Let's just say.
That's what I'm saying. It's the choices you make. And it's crazy because you literally have to give a fuck. And it's not just about other people. You have to give a fuck about yourself, because somebody's going to ask you about this shit in 10 years. Somebody's going to be like, remember when you did that, whether it's in an interview or in private, somebody's going to ask you about something you said or you did. And it's like, how inconsiderate are you to not think about your future? Because if you want to grow and evolve, you have to know your stylist might be gay. Your goddamn role manager might be gay. You might... somebody might be a cross-dresser on your team. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know who you dealing with, who you working with. You don't know who gonna sign you. You don't know who's listening to your music. And in the very instance of you being negative, you're going to lose your bag. Period. Like, the baby got dropped from like 10 big shows after he said that shit at out.
Yeah.
And those big bags, those not little bags, those big bags. So just imagine if you coming up and you have this image of just coming out very negative off top, nobody gonna want to book with you, because then if you coming like that on social media, they ain't gonna want to talk to you when you get to the arena to perform. You have to understand that who you are as a person will reflect in your posts. And if you are a good, genuine person at the end of the day, those are usually the people that get booked for everything first. The baby came off as genuine passing because when he first came out, he was a smooth talking criminal. Now, I don't want to book him.
Well, do you think that fame could get to you too? Like, people, because I mean, you see it, or do, okay? I guess the real question is, do you believe that when people have success and you can see the humble leave them and they become, you know, full of themselves, do you think that was always in them, or do you think that's a product of?
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's always in them, because you know, like some people that never had nothing, they care about maintaining it, versus those who never had nothing and they finally up, so it's fuck everybody. Like, it's only two type of people, you know, it's literally only two type of people. It's the people that's going to care for others and people who don't care for themselves. That's like when Kanye said the people highest up have the lowest self-esteem. Talking about himself, man. But
well, I mean, I
that can go a lot of ways.
It can go. That can go a lot of ways. Like, it can go a lot of ways.
And that's that bar was hard because that shit is real. The people, like, you get up, like, it's crazy because I see a lot of people say, let me be the one to get this, and let me be the one who, and I see the people who I know will be good with the bag, you know, but they don't be good to themselves to get that bag, and that's why they be holding themselves back. Versus the people that be, oh, I'm gonna push. When I get this, it's for all y'all. Like, those be the people you gotta kind of be afraid of, because shit, when you get money, what you gonna do when you get the money? Are you gonna be negative, condescending? Like this may be your true self right now, but who are you with some money? That money really show people, like, you got 50 Cent. 50 Cent is crazy. 50 Cent gonna always be crazy. And 50 Cent shows us every day why his name is 50 Cent. But, not why his name 50 Cent, but he shows every day why Mini Man was a song.
Yeah.
Like, why
you
get what I'm going with.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get what I'm saying? Like, he probably is a good person. But when the guy the actor just passed away, that wasn't nice. You know, like, you didn't have to say that. You could have just not said nothing.
Yeah.
If you had a problem with somebody, like, when you kind of going out your way to be this type of person and you setting this tone, that precedent of who you are, it's like, I'm gonna kind of fall back on somebody like that. Like, I would love to do business with 50. Like, I think he hit the pot the right way with these Power 2, Raising Cannon, BMF. I think he got that pot together. Like, that's where he's good at. Like, if I come up with an idea, I would want to pitch that to him. But when it comes to, like, getting on his bad side, I don't want to borrow no money from him. That ain't nobody you borrow no money from. No,
because everybody will know about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think 50 is a really good businessman because he presents himself as a really good businessman. But borrowing money, I got my respect for you, player. I feel you. I don't want to loan no money out to nobody.
But you know what, though? I thought a lot of that, though, when he was, like, getting at the people for the money that they owed him. I thought that was just, like, a way for him to have collaborative content on social media and build people's followings up. Because, like, I know he did that with Real Timmy. I don't think he actually really had a beef with Real Timmy. I think he was just saying this nigga owe me money and then watch his followers go up, you know, because he was on the show, right?
I'm thinking about the Daniels. What's his name?
Was it Lee Daniels?
Lee Daniels, yeah. Maybe Lee Daniels was the Dame Dash situation. I might be mixing them up. But when the man called him Fofty, that was funny. But, like, he was on there with that lawyer, man. I'm just like, what? But I didn't think of it a collaborative effort because he tried Jackie Long too. That's his name, yeah. He tried him, but that was crazy.
These are people who normally have who have smaller followings than him. So, you know what I'm saying? And I think
that makes sense now. I never thought about it like that. Like, okay, yeah, let's do that. But I don't want to borrow no money from you. I'd rather go borrow some money from Chase Bank, and I know Chase ain't gonna give me no money before I borrow money from 50 Cent. I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke because I know Chase ain't giving me no money.
Well, the difference between Chase and 50, Chase might actually come and take your shit back if you ain't paying 50. 50 just gonna talk about you on the internet.
I said, I don't even want to do business with them. I know, because they're not gonna give it to me. They ain't gotta come take it because they're not gonna give it to you
in the first place.
They ain't gonna give it. I just keep working.
Okay, we just did a lot about social media, so I guess to help artists, because you just said a lot, like, you know, you got to make sure you portray the right image for yourself. Be genuine. Don't be an asshole. Don't upset a group of people. Be kind to people. Be considerate of the world that you're in and the people that you may encounter in the future who may help you get to where you're trying to go.
Yeah, and really quick, and people are not sensitive. People's concept of life and thinking have changed. It's not about sensitivity. It's just that we are not in a toxic mind state as a culture anymore. So we want to keep pushing for that for the next generation to come. All of that stuff that people had to come through, the adversities to get to this point, you can literally hear and see the change sonically. So it's not even about being sensitive. Yes, some people are overly sensitive. We got that. But why? Because we are promoting more mental health awareness. We are promoting communication within our community. We are promoting helping our community and being more humble with how we handle ourselves and the people around us. It's not about being soft anymore. It's just about being considerate of how you say things, what you do to people, and how you receive those things.
Okay, so let me pick your brain in. So if you were developing an artist, how would you help them get into the right mind state to create content for who they are?
I want to know your hobbies. I want to know what you do outside of making music, because that could benefit you and leverage you. Because an artist now is not just all music. An artist now is like, okay, this is what you're interested in. Like if you're an artist, but you like to get fly, you might be somebody that might want to buy a chain every month, or you might go on a shopping spree, but it's about how you portray that. Like, this is why I like fashion. I've always liked fashion since I was 6. My mom used to take me to Marshall Fields and I would pick out my clothes. She would let me pick them out and I would get myself dressed for school every day. And I got to always have a pair of shades, and my shades and my shoes got to match. Like when you start showing like, okay, this is why I picked this outfit for a video, or this is why I like wearing these 2 different type of coats when I'm out, cause they custom or whatever. Like the devil is in the detail of this type of thing. Like I'm using fashion, but like it's some artists that paint. Some artists that like cars, like we got Currency.
Shout out Gino. Gino paints, but go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna look up Gino Paint. Who is that?
Gino, I played a couple of songs that he was on the studio.
Okay, there we go. Boom. So I'm gonna use Currency then, because Currency has a mechanic shop. His house lot is not even a lot. He got a house in his driveway. It's filled with vehicles. And he also will go on YouTube and build cars, right? I think he did that. Yeah, I think he was like building cars at some point on YouTube. And what he did was maximize on his hobby. And people go check for the car content because they may be his listener to his music. They like him sonically, but they also are car guys, So when that's the one thing I will push first, developing when it comes to content, is finding your hobbies, what interests you, where people can come to a center with you outside of what they're hearing you say, and it kind of helps you grow with your fan base, where you kind of create your own community. And sometimes your fans can become like family, where these particular people in this city gonna always come through. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like I say my aunt, she knows Brian McKnight. He knows her first last name. Like that's the type of relationship she got with Brian fucking McKnight. Like what? How about we flew to Vegas one year? I think I was still in high school at the time. We flew to Vegas. Brian McKnight was performing. What happens? I walk downstairs with her. Brian fucking McKnight's management. Oh, hey, say her name. I was like, what is that? Like, that's his manager. I was like, how you know? She was like, they know me. When I tell you they let her through the red rope and everything, he was like, I could hear him talking to her like, hey girl, woo. She's like, hey, Freddie, this my boo. I was just like, like this. Like, I want every artist that I like to know exactly who I am. I want the management to know me. Everybody gotta know me, because if they know her crazy ass, they gotta know me too. Put me on, I'm like, damn, he giving out deals and stuff. He sounding, he need a little teenage writer. I can write some songs, At this time, I used to write a lot too. I'm like, he need a writer. I'll write some. I don't know what I'm gonna write, but I can play the piano. Come on, can I learn? I didn't know what to do. I was like, all right, fuck it. We ended up going to dinner, and she came back out. He let her come all the way up to the stage and everything, like, cause that's the type of fan base he created. Like, this woman probably got every CD he ever made to this day. She will still play him to this day. And mind you, this was like more than 10 years ago, and still knows her to this day, because he know when he come to Chicago, his girl gonna be there. And that's kind of like when I help people, you know, or give them some insight, you want to create that type of fan base, because your core is your first 100 and your next core is your first 1,000. When you get that first 100, those like your people. When you get that 1,000, those your people, because I mean, it took 100 people from them 100 people to get to 1,000. Okay, once you get to 1,000, it's a wrap, because now you got 1,000 people pushing your stuff. You rolling. Like that's it, that core 1,000 is like your max. That core 100 is your focus, because those first 100 people is the ones that's gonna stay there throughout your tenure of being an artist. Even when you retire and you go and you do mega shows, and you probably only perform like every 5 years, like Sting, or was it Sting or was it Kiss? One of them that perform how they perform, they only do like 1 or 2 shows a year or something like that. You want to create, you want to look at the end in mind. Like, okay, do you want to do this forever, or do you want to do this because you like doing it right now? Like, it's people I had to take this shit real serious, and they living their life comfortably now off of something that I want to do this forever, versus this cool. Like, you got people like Blueface, who had a full ride scholarship and could have potentially been in the NFL, and he chose to be a rapper, and he's not that good. He's attractive, and that's how he gets by, but sonically, and I'm only giving all these artist names because I pay attention. So I'm not trying to be judgmental, but it's just like, you know what you know when you know it. Like, you could see, like, you got young artists that done sound like 2-3 different distribution or management deals or deals, and they taking these little small amounts from these different companies. And it's like, okay, how long do you really want to do this? Because if you got that first check, your first check you're supposed to take and invest straight into yourself. Your advance is straight investment. Your advance is not to go shop, not to go trick off, not to go buy no cars, not to go buy no chains. That first check that you get needs to go straight to the music. All the time, every time, no matter what. If you get the opportunity, I'm saying this to everybody listening, if you get the opportunity to get signed, bro, take your check and invest. If you win any contest and somebody offer you something, money, whatever, take that and invest it. Like, whatever, because you need as much oil in your engine as you can get that don't come out your pocket, because you doing it out of pocket so much that when you finally do get a check, you got to pay that shit back.
Yeah.
And I think people be underestimating getting a deal. Like, okay, I got $1 million deal. So what I'm finna spend $1 million on to get 5 million so I can pay this $1 million back? Because then you got to go into percentage, and we can talk about that next time. But yeah, what else you got?
You brought up, okay, so you brought up Blueface and sonically, and then you also brought up how people need to find that first 100, and the concept of having like family people in different cities, and I wonder, because I see this often. Artists will heavily, especially when they first start off, they'll heavily rely on their friends and their family to support them. And it ain't it. And then they will some of them get upset. I've been that guy. I've gotten upset when I thought that everybody that I knew was supposed to be playing my shit, bumping my shit, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't happening that way. What do you say to that? What are your thoughts on that?
Your people will come around when they want to come around. They're not gonna come around when you're ready for them to come around, because everybody don't believe in you. Your family and your friends, everybody don't believe in you. Because it's kind of dangerous being a rapper right now. But when I was coming up in engineering, everybody was rapping, and a lot of those people don't rap no more that I worked with. You know what I'm saying? So everybody not a fan, everybody don't think you that good, and everybody don't support you. So if you realize that early on, you will start focusing on catering to finding artists similar to you to work with, because whether they have a fan base or not, you want to expand to a different realm of people. That's the best way I could say to just start venturing out. And then when you start getting a little bit more money and you could pay for a feature of somebody that's a little bit more bigger, whether they promote that song or not, you could hashtag their name and you could tag them on posts, and people are going to be like, oh shit, you don't work with that person? I know who that is, because even if they're not a big person, like I'm going to say, I don't think Masego is as big as he is. But Masego is pretty big now. But I remember seeing Masego coming out and growing. And Masego has music with like Shmino and people like that. So you got Masego. I wonder if Masego got something with Buddy. But Masego, he kind of leaned into like Giveon. They kind of lean towards R&B. They're evolving in their path right now in their career. And with using those people, if I could get a Masego feature, let me say I'm coming because I said alternative R&B. If I get a Masego feature, it costs me $10K to do it. I have Masego on the track, right? I'm going to go post it. I'm going to be tagging Masego all the time. Everybody that likes Masego is going to, like, if you go into Twitter, you can actually filter out the artist's name and you can find them. I'm going to eventually show up in people's lead and they feed. So people are going to start checking me and start following me because I have a song with Masego. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So when it comes to expansion, you have to think like, okay, what would it take, or what do I need to do? Who do I need to work with in order for me to start to grow? And once you get that, then let's say you got 5 cousins that's just in love with Masego. Like, I don't know if any of my cousins love Masego, but if they found out and they know who it is, oh, she on to something. She got a song with Masego. Let me share it now. For real, that's really what be happening. Like, Freddie Gibbs is like the hottest rapper right now, so I could use him. If like I heard a song, it was like a UK artist, and they had Freddie Gibbs featured. It filtered in through me listening to something from him on YouTube, and I'm like, damn, this song kind of decent, right? Cool, this shit hot. I don't know them, but I went and I commented on I commented on something. I was like, that song you got with Woo, that shit decent. Like, because I listened to him, you know what I'm saying? But I also put it in there because somebody else needs to hear this. And I told somebody else, like, did you hear that song? That shit decent. Like, I kept doing that. Like, kept saying it was I can't think of their name right now, but word of mouth is like your best form of marketing too. Yes. And it's crazy because people might not support you right now, but if you get the right feature, my cousin on the song with Drake, baby,
go through the roof.
You eating? So you ain't.
So
I'm gonna say you don't even see King Louis no more because he done wrote 2 bars for Drake. Come on, man. He got dispensary money now. He out here coming out with strings. Like, most people that came out with strings is like Wiz Khalifa and them. Like, man, okay, all right. Well, how much did Drake pay you? Drake is a diamond. Like, he always go a diamond. Well, how much you get on that? Yeah. Most people still listening to that.
Yeah, that's residual money. That money keep coming in. So you had an interesting take on that, because I've seen people get features and, from a bigger artist, and that artist just does not share it, does not fuck with it at all. But I think that approach, as you said, make sure you tag them and hashtagging them consistently to make sure it shows up in their feeds when people go to search them.
And then the people that actually do support you, listen to you, have them do the same thing. Like, if you leverage the people that are listening to you, like newsletters are so, like, people underestimate newsletters, building some type of community. You could do, like Gary Vee has community, the actual text service. It's crazy because I tested it out. My first time signing up for somebody's community was BJ, the Chicago kid. Mm-hmm. And then my second one was recently Lucky Day. And the way that they communicate, you would think that they are actually texting you. I know fucking better, but you would think that these people are actually communicating with you. But they put it in a text platform. Like, that's leverage depending on what your following is. I don't recommend it to everybody. I was going to actually utilize community, but I didn't feel like I was ready to do that. And I didn't think I had a big enough follower. But I did say, once I get to 5,000 followers, I'm going to take advantage of community, because what happens is with because I haven't gotten a BJ in the last few months, but recently with the Lucky Day, I got to see a prequel to something he just dropped. I think he did a acapella version of his single. Okay, so he notifies you, like that's a form of a newsletter. That's a form of some type of update. Somebody is letting you know, okay, you were serious enough to even sign up for this, because a lot of people not even gonna take the time out to register for this. And that's why I did it, because I'm like, okay, he pushing this text. Let me see what this platform is, because I'd like to learn and see what people are doing. Now, what I would suggest in his instance, because he's not somebody that posts a lot, that he has more things to like share in private through the community platform, because depending on, not necessarily him, but depending on how you want to stay relevant and consistent, top of mind, you were in my text now. You know what I'm saying? Let me just drop this, or pre-save this coming out, or this coming out, like nobody knows, but this is dropping on this and that, blah, blah, like building suspense and momentum. Like just, because he does have a project coming out. So when you got things rolling, the rollout, you got to take advantage of, okay, who's a serious fan, who's really like into or interested in understanding me or my product that I'm offering, things like that. Like when you create that base, you have to consider like the hobbies, like I mentioned, like people want to see me do this. People want to be talked to. People want to feel like you have a connection with them. And it can all stem back to like, you get your 4 friends, y'all rock with each other. I need y'all to sign up for this text. I need y'all to sign up for the newsletter. Even with your friends, even if you don't have a big following, you still need that feedback of if you're doing something good and did it make sense, or how do it look? Is it aesthetically pleasing? Is it cluttered? How does my music sound? Because this is where I'm releasing it. Like if you're releasing it on a certain platform because you want to get some type of royalty from them listening to it, like having all that stuff set up, it's a system. Like people be underestimate being an artist. This shit is 80% business, 20% art.
Preach.
For real.
Preach.
And I love this so much. Like I could keep talking about this.
And that's exactly what this podcast is about. Not to cut you off, but that's exactly what this podcast is about. Is getting artists to the mindset of becoming a business for themselves, or at least because like you can even get a deal, but you got to be able to have your shit in order for a label to even approach you now, because they like the social media, like they can go to the next person that's doing it right. They got, 10, 15,000 followers and sign them versus taking a chance on you. So it's like, you really got to start thinking like that. And you dropped.
You have to be a well-oiled machine. Like I hosted the event that you had came to in October. And when we were picking the contest winners, one of the winners was Can by Dean. And my response of why I picked him, I said, he's already packaged. If I was to be an A&R tomorrow, I would sign Dean.
Shout out Dean, by the way, but go ahead.
Shout out Dean. And I'm like, if I was to be an A&R tomorrow, I'm signing Dean off top, because he already got a package. He be dropping videos. He be posting something every day. You see, he a DILF. Dads motherfuckers like to fuck. You got that, big dog. That's your thing. Like he has his image, he got his persona, he got his packaging. And I'm dropping him. So if y'all want to go check him out and see who he is, and see what I'm saying, like he's very consistent, even when he took his break recently for the holiday or for the holidays coming up. He's very consistent in his packaging. You're going to see Dean Dollars. He got the Daddy Warbucks, Dean Warbucks out there. Like, ain't nobody just giving out no damn paper money with their face on it. But Usher, like Usher Bucks. This nigga got Usher Bucks. Like, right?
but let me say that Usher Bucks came out after Dean Bucks, though.
I know. What I was about to say is Dean has a full concept around his dollars too. You got the $100, you got the $50, and I think you got the $20. And he gives you a damn system around how to spend the Dean dollars, right? That's cold. Like, I don't know nobody. Like, he even got little QR codes. I highly recommend. He got the little QR codes. He got the dollars. He got merch. That nigga package. All he needs is a machine behind him so he could just hire somebody else to handle it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he make decent songs. So it's like, okay, somebody like that, he ain't gonna do nothing but keep going up. You know what I'm saying? Because he already has a package. And that's one thing that I always push. My first thing is create your music all the time. Like, if this is something that you're passionate about, don't create no bullshit though. Create something that you know is some heat. Like, it's okay to scrap songs, to do like a throwaway mixtape. It's okay to do those. Look at Chris Brown. He be dropping 38 track CDs all the time. Like, nigga, I know them throwaways. But I'm just saying, you want to have a disc 1, disc 2 on Apple Music, like that's not Apple Music. Boy, you ain't fucking 3 6 Mafia. Get your ass out of here. But anyway, so create. That's the first thing you could do. Create. I highly recommend creating, but making sure that you create in quality and not creating for quantity. Quality overrides quantity all the time. You could do 8 tracks, and if all of them sound good, I'm gonna bounce back. So it's crazy. I've been listening to Lucky Day for 2 years. Never knew nothing about this guy. His Over video just dropped. I'm like, okay, let me go check him out. Never even knew what this man looked like. I just listened to the same little songs that I heard him from a show that I seen him 2 years ago. And that's how he got me in. He had performed the song. I'm like, this song, I like this song. And at the time I was going through some shit too, so it really resonated with me. I'm like, okay, cool. I added him. I added his songs at the show because I liked the music that much. I went and I watched his interview. This man said the album that he got out, Painted, was done in 3 parts. He dropped EP 1, EP 2, then he dropped Painted, and it was all both the EPs and like a couple more songs, right? So he did a rollout. That's like the best example I can use right now because it's the most recent one, because I was going to use Wiz Khalifa, but I can use him another time because that's like megastar rollout. I've been watching him for years. But anyway, so he said he didn't even put the songs in order. But when you listen to the project, it don't even need to be in fucking order because the project is that much quality, and it's probably like 9 songs. 9, maybe 12, I think. But if he split them all up and he didn't even have order of sequence to how the songs really should be placed, he just made a project, but he made a quality project. And that's why I push quality over quantity. This man don't need to drop no 17 album CD. He dropped 4 track, 3 track, 12 all together, done. And then all that shit is like, every song sound different, but every song sound polished. And like, he took his time and made those 12 songs. I don't even know how many it is, but the creativity, my fault. The creativity is what matters the most. And then you want to go into creating your brand, because after you being creative, you want to know your concept, your branding, as far as, okay, what color am I feeling? What color am I doing? What's my theme? What's my look? Like, let me build my brand, my image first. Once you get the brand that you want, like, are you trying to portray, okay, let's go Wiz Khalifa now. Wiz Khalifa's branding is the stoner. We know this. We know. It don't matter what he talking about. We know Wiz Khalifa is a stoner. That's his fucking brand, okay? Mm-hmm. He be selling gin. He be selling water bottles. He be doing boxing and working out, kickboxing, MMA, training, all that. Nigga be on the app. What's the app called? He be doing on one of them MMA apps now. I can't even think of it. Huh?
No, I'm saying, I don't know.
It's an app that he's a part of, but he also do Triller too. Mm-hmm. All of that sounds good, right? But what do we know Wiz Khalifa for?
Smoking weed.
Thank you. This nigga is like a black Cheech and Chong, bad self. So we know him for that. He built that brand. He was the first person on YouTube smoking. Like, nobody was trying to be on camera smoking because weed wasn't even legal. Wasn't nobody trying to get caught on camera to get indicted. Like, he did it. He was the first person doing day-to-days and blogging style. Like, yeah, we got Soulja Boy, but Wiz Khalifa still does day to day to this day. And I've been a Wiz Khalifa fan since the end of 2009, like towards the fall of 2009. That's how long I've been a Wiz fan. Was Dylan. Man, it's funny because I literally watched him evolve. So his brand, right? Wiz is on Sonic the Hedgehog soundtrack. He do a voiceover TV show on, I want to say, syndicated networks like FX or Fox or something like that. But we still know him as a stoner. But he created this brand of, I'm not just a stoner, I'm a businessman, and I'm also a humble person, and I'm able to still get shit done even if I smoke weed. Okay? Brand. And then we're going to roll over after you get all your branding together. You want to do the marketing. That's where everybody be getting fucked up at. Everybody get real lazy from all the people, all the artists, all the artist development I've ever done. And I've worked with probably like 5 or 6 different people. And none of the people that I worked with wanted to do the marketing part. And that's where it's the most important. Your marketing is very vital. Your rollout is a part of your marketing. And you need a rollout. That dropping the song as soon as you recorded this shit is dumb and goofy. Like, I'm going Chicago style, and that's some goofy ass shit. Like, stop doing that, bro. Like, don't drop the song as soon as you leave the studio. I hate that. And the reason why I hate that is because you need to get the legalities together, because what if your song do pop? You're not going to get paid. The producer gonna get paid, like you just said earlier. It's an act right now that I'm thinking of. What's his name? D-Lo Shuffle or something like that. That boy don't own none of his music.
I know the biggest act, Juice WRLD, rest in peace. But that song "Lucid Dreams," if I remember correctly, I think
that's a sample.
They had to interpolation. So they claim they played the exact same thing that Sting played. Now Sting owned like 85% of that song, which is crazy, right?
That's the point. Yep. And you got that. So like Happy, not Happy. What's the song with
Robin Thicke? Yeah.
That song.
Yeah. Blur lines.
Yeah. You got that. Like, that's why stop dropping the songs when you leave the studio. That's the exact reason. Like, all this stuff we talking about, because you need to register, you need to clear any samples, you need to make sure everything is straight. Like Wale couldn't even drop his project that he wanted to drop because it wasn't cleared of all the samples. When he finally got cleared, then he dropped his project. So he had people anticipating this project for like 3 months later than when he planned to drop it, because he had like one last song that didn't get cleared out yet. And this is why the machine be so necessary to, you could do all of this yourself, but you have to take time with yourself and cater to yourself like a business as well as an artist. The art gonna come. As long as you know you good. If you doubt yourself, then it ain't gonna come no more. The well gonna run itself dry. But the marketing is where you expand and you grow. I'll give you an example. So after I was done with the group and I dropped the group from the money part, from the deposit part, I was working with somebody else, and he had like a team already. He had like his producers, he had his hype man, he had people that was gonna push it for him on social media. So I was like, okay, it's about 12 y'all. What y'all need to do, everybody needs to just get in the system of posting your video that you're about to drop once an hour. If you got 12 people dropping the link, and this was before Facebook became as business-sided as it is now, where you can't post stuff and they get reported as spam now. This was before the spam and the hacker phase. So I'm like, okay, when I tell you I made a full 24-hour schedule of who posts what, I'm like, even if everybody don't want to do it every hour on an hour, y'all could do a 3-hour block. But it's 12 of y'all. So that'd be 3 people. So if it's 24 hours, it's 8. So let's say it's 12 people, everybody get like 2 or 3 people during the same hour. If you two doing it at this time, but not at this exact minute, okay, that means y'all spread it out. Then somebody else go over there and they share it. Like, I was doing a whole spider web of marketing for these people of how to promote a video. So when I did that, nobody did the damn schedule.
Really?
I literally by myself, because of the platform that I had, this was when 1,000 views was like the shit. This is how old I am. Getting 1,000 views, you the shit. I had got us to 1,000 views in like 3 days by myself because of my platform. Just imagine if 12 other people did that, well, we'd probably be at 100,000. And I was by myself doing this for like 2 weeks straight, and I got probably to like 1,800 views. People was just clicking on it because they was looking to see my work. They was looking to see, oh, you engineer, let's see, boom, boom, boom. You obviously promoting this song, so it got to be good. And I'm like, you know what? I told him, I was like, I'm not promoting this shit no more, regardless, because I think I was in the video. I'm like, I'm not promoting this shit no more. Everybody that I made this schedule around was in this video with me. Y'all motherfuckers could share it too. So I was like, okay, y'all don't want to do this. All right, boom. You, the artist, and the 3 people close to you, y'all 4 motherfuckers need to be sharing this. They did, but they wasn't as consistent. And I'm like, this is the time you need to be doing this. So that's just my old school story, because 1,000 views used to be real hard. But now it's to get to 100,000. So you got the marketing.
Let me stop you there. I'm sorry, but let me stop you there, because I think that's a key thing. A lot of artists don't want to share their shit past the day it drops. What can they do? Is it just having multiple types of content to support it? But what are some ideas to help get an artist through that? Because it's difficult. Like, my song dropped today. I'm gonna talk about it today, but then I don't know what to do tomorrow, next week, next month.
I think that with something like that, what should happen, you could play with like teasers. You could take like the craziest scene out the video and post it. You could take the craziest bar out of a scene and post it. Like right now, it's a trending sound on Instagram, and the dude be like, it was me and 4 niggas and they run through. Boom, now it's just 3. Boom, now it's just 2. Boom, boom, now it's just me. That little bar right there, I remember when it dropped like 2 or 3 years ago, right? And that he took a snippet of the video of that scene of him shooting somebody come through the door in the song. That shit blew up. I don't know that man's name to this day, but I tell you, I know how to say that.
2-3 years later.
Boom, now just 3. Boom, now just 2. Boom, boom, now just me. That was hot. Like, okay, now they using a snippet of his video as a sound on Instagram, and he can get the royalties for that if he did it right. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that boy name, but I know he could get paid for that sound, because that's his stuff that he registered and he owns, you know? So you got little stuff like that, or you got I got another example. It was a song. I'm sorry. It was a song. And this guy, he was like, now she want the gummy worm. I can't remember the rest of the words, but that part right there had the internet in shambles for about 4 days. Like, I think he might have probably just like cheated on this girl or something in the song, but then he was like, "Now she want the gummy worm," and that's all you need to know. Like, then you gonna want to check for it. Okay, I got one more, because this one of my low key favorite songs, and my son like it too. "Skirt Skirt" by Dear Silas. They made the song into a Dexter Laboratory meme. All he is, oh my gosh. I gotta find it, but you've seen the Dexter when they were talking about whisper in my ear or something like that.
Yeah.
Like skirt skirt. That song hot, bro. That whole song hot. Like, I like the whole song. And it be the memes. That's what's crazy. Like, you have to kind of make fun of your own product, or you could leverage reels, TikToks, and stuff like that, and still grow your momentum. Like, I'll take it back. Like Lucky Day, well, it's over. He got the colorway switch up. Like, if you ever watch the video, he do like this monochromatic colorway switch up, and he just pan. He's still doing the same motions, but he's switching his wardrobe. It's like a fast flicker. But that came from the fashion dudes from Twitter who actually blew up, and he'll be changing his wardrobe when they my dick on the ground, but to bring it, babe, the Busta Rhymes. So when people been doing a trend of changing their clothes, he incorporated it into his video. He took that part made it a snippet, and he could promote that shit. And people be like, damn, them fits, he getting off on them fits, and they all monochromatic. What's the name of the song? Let me go check this out. And you doing something so simple like that, that came from a damn internet trend, and it got put into a music video. How can you leverage your video? You know, how can you leverage your treatment? How can you continue to promote it? Because when he dropped over and the colorway came out, so many people retweeted that into my timeline. I was like, damn. And that's how I ended up like going and checking out his interviews and checking him out. Cause I'm like, I've been listening to this person for 2 years and I never knew what they looked like. I never heard an interview about him and I've seen them perform before. Who is this person? Just off of the monochromatic video that everybody was sharing for about a week and a half. That's how long the video, like it might still get reposted now, but just that little, like leveraging just that one little scene, that one scene that popped out the whole video. You wouldn't even know Jordan Woods' Pretty Self was in the damn video because you're going to always see that colorway video because it matches a trend from all of these different platforms. You could make your song, you could use a snippet of your song. Like I made a video of the laser guns I bought for my son for Christmas last year, right? And I put, who won't smoke with us? Boom, 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 boom. That could be somebody else's song on my video, but hundreds of thousands of people use this song as a trend. And I think that helps leverage with your product, you know, with your sound, with your song. If you using that catchy part, oh, what he said, what the fuck is that? That's what he said, boom, 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 boom. So when you using stuff like that, you leveraging your content, you leveraging what you want to be heard, and you pushing yourself, and then other people gonna hear it, they gonna catch on, and they gonna use it.
I don't know if you can tell by my face, but my wheels are turning right now.
Okay,
because
good.
I literally, we just sent off a song. Shout out Gino and I think I played it for you. That a song I wanted, and I had some ideas about. Just because that's who I am, I like to make fun of shit that I do, and Gino he has this part in the song where it's not, you don't necessarily know what he's saying, so I think I'm not gonna give that away just yet, but
I'll find out. I'll find out.
Yeah. I got some ideas about that, but let's wrap it up. Okay, so
we got a part two of this. We definitely got a part two of this.
Yeah, because we can talk about this shit all day. For the artists right now, I would say you got some music out, you got some video shot, and you want to try to get yourself booked, or you want to start submitting yourself to independent labels, or to publishing companies or whatnot. I from all the things that I know, you probably want to start off with having an EPK to send these people, right? What is in an EPK, and I guess just what's in an EPK for now.
EPKs have evolved. When I was sending out EPKs, I was sending them with CDs, and I was doing hard copy EPKs and sending them out to universities to book shows. So now with an EPK now, it's literally how you manage your social handles. I would say pick one platform, but if you're good with being on multi platforms, that's cool too. But your EPK now looks like a Linktree link almost. But I do recommend you doing it more on a website based, where you could lead people to one setting. For me, the EPKs that I used to make entailed your description of yourself, or a bio, however you want to go about it, what genres you cater to. You want to put your most recent project that you feel like has the most potential. And then if you want to include like your singles from previous projects that did good sonically, you can include those. That's at your discretion, like creating like more of a compilation of what songs pop is how I used to do it. We used to just do compilations. We didn't say like, this is the current project. We'll say these was the 3 hits from each project. And then everywhere that you perform should be included, like all your flyers, the date, the venue, all that stuff matters. Photos, like whatever photos, like, so let's say you got the EPK and then you start to gain traction and momentum sonically, and people start seeing you on socials and they want to maybe book you for a show. If you have like your good pictures up, excuse me, you have your good pictures up, they're going to take those pictures and they're going to apply them to flyers and stuff like that. What else? You want to have merch. I do recommend having like some form of a merch entailed into it, because it's like being a package deal. Do you have hoodies, lighters, whatever? You want to kind of have, like when I used to send them out, we had wristbands, we had stickers, and I think we were working on getting lighters for one act. I don't even remember what happened with that, but stuff like that. Like when you have like your merch and stuff ready to send out, like you would give t-shirts to the host of whoever booked you for the event, things like that. That memorabilia is important. And your EPK, even if you don't have a hard copy for it, you have like, oh, this is my section on my website where I sell merch. But the EPK needs to be like one standalone site when you're doing it, because it's electronic press kit. It's a press kit. And that also entails, like, if somebody wants to interview you, they need to be able to reference information about you. Because I was recently supposed to do a search on an act, kind of local, and I went to the site. They only had like their videos and their songs. That's cool. But it's like, okay, why do y'all want me to look up this person? Why do y'all want me to research this person? You know, what else can they offer? Okay, you giving me the sound. Your bio not really hitting on nothing. Like, you want to have something. And I do suggest that you don't write your bio yourself, because it can come off very biased and self-centered. I would recommend that you have somebody that's an actual writer, good at writing, and or somebody that listens to your sound, because they're going to write about you better than you and sell you better than you. And what else? I think that's pretty much it. It's just, it's about the digital platform. You also want to include all your social handles, because they will look at your following count across all platforms. So let's say you got 10,000 on Instagram, but you got 3,000 on Twitter. Some people hit and miss over there, but then you got another 15,000 on Facebook. Okay, we know you popping on Facebook and Instagram. Got it, that's 25,000. The 7 over there, that's 32. Okay, cool. You got about 32,000 people collectively. Okay, cool. We could work with this person because they got somewhat of a following and they may bring us some people out.
Right. Well, damn. I mean, I think that was very insightful. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else for you today. Well, you know what? No. I guess this is the last question. It's just random. Who is your favorite artist or band to see live?
My most recent pre-pandemic, I would have to say Freddie Gibbs, because of his breath control, crowd control. Because I've seen him probably like 4 or 5 times. That might be the artist that I've seen the most in my concert career. He's good. And Omarion. And I'm not a big Omarion fan, because he be dancing and shit. He got that. And that's all I could think of right now.
Yeah, I said one. You gave me 2, so you.
Yeah, I'm a big Crit fan. I told you before, I'm a big Crit fan. But he has a really good stage design, and for me, what make artists good is the presentation, the crowd control, the breath control, how engaged they are with the listener, the crowd. And how they close out a show.
You know who has it for me, I think, and I only seen it once, so I don't know if his show is still the same way, but I remember I saw Tory Lanez back in like 2015, 2016. I look.
Damn!
Like,
you actually seen him live? No.
He was at Lollapalooza, and my man's crowd surfed, but not. He didn't just crowd surf. That motherfucker, he was standing
Yeah,
on people's
I think I
hands
did see that.
and like walking. He climbed like this light tower, this light pole or whatever, and was like singing from up there and shit. I'm like, yo, this dude, this is crazy. You know, like I think.
I seen that video. I seen it when he did that. He kind of like walked over the hands. It was like people doing like that. Walking over.
Yeah.
He thought he was Jesus, boy.
I swear. I swear. I haven't seen him since, but yeah, that was a dope performance. But
yeah, I don't think I ever seen him live. But it's just, for me, that's really it. What you just said, like that, you want to have that, did this motherfucker just walk over my head type of like energy. No Travis Scott vibes at all.
No Travis Scott
vibes.
That's a whole nother conversation in itself. You know what? I still haven't seen all the videos, but I heard that he knew, and I don't know. I'm not
aware. He was fully aware. That's the best way I could put it. But yeah, this was good. This was very refreshing. It's it's hyping me up because now I have to apply all of this to myself.
It's not exactly me too, because I got we talked about it, but I have things that I'm working on, and honestly, you had a lot of really good ideas that I like to build on with you at a later date. And anyway, shout out to Belle Dee for joining the How to Sell Dope podcast. Episode 2 is in the books.
All right, thank you for having me.
Of course, anytime.
Letting on the leaks so low, I go based on tunes. Letting on me can call. I can never make that choice. Want it, tell them I want it, 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 I want it.